Curt, when a homeowner is considering a central AC system, why is Bryant a brand that you recommend? And what are some of the main options that you could walk people through?
So we stand behind Bryant because they give us the best support. Honestly, at the end of the day, all these conditioning systems, they're all the same. They all have the same parts inside of them. Uh, but my favorite thing is when we do have an issue, there's always somebody to call that can help us running through it. They're always offering the trainings, so we're knowledgeable about this equipment. That's honestly my favorite part. So I can provide you with the best service at the end of the day.
And then if a customer has any kind of problem with the system and they, maybe the system's still under warranty and something needs to get replaced or repaired, is Bryant really good about coming through with that kind of thing?
Absolutely. And yeah, something like that. We do all the warranties in house.
So tell me a little bit about the difference between what are called like a single stage, two stage, or variable speed air conditioning systems.
So one stage is one speed go. That's it. Um, More economical. I mean, everybody has a different price range. But now, if someone's looking for something a little bit better in their electric bill, that's where they want to get into that second stage variable. So, a second stage, you have two stages. Say a 3-ton system. If it's running on the first stage, it's only a 2-ton unit, which is awesome, especially when we do get those customers and you're telling them, hey, the system that you've had in your house for 20 years is too big. They're, they're not always willing to downsize. So
Hmm.
that's where I always recommend that 2 stage. And I would bet a free install on that on some of these houses that a 3-ton system in a 2,000 square foot house is never using that 3 tons. Really? Maybe 1, 2 days out of the summer. And
So the homeowner's not really like trusting, your advice, which is, hey, we need to correctly size the system. The system that you have now is too much. They are afraid that if you put in a lesser ton system, that it's not going to work properly for them. So the compromise is you can put in this two-stage system, but like you said, chances are 99% of the time it's going to be running at that lower first stage.
absolutely.
Yeah.
That's one of the biggest things I get all the time because it is a culture shock. What do you mean? This 3-ton system has been cool in my house for years.
Right.
It's almost like trying to talk someone into downgrading their V8 to a V6. This V6 is going to be faster than your V8.
Right.
And then, like you were saying, now if you want to go the most efficient, now we're talking the variable speed, which is definitely the best option. That's where you're going to have the lowest electric bill because now you don't just have 2 speeds, you have 20 speeds.
Right. So the point here is that when you're at that two-stage system, and you're running on the first stage, it's using less electricity than it does at the higher stage. You still have that higher stage available if it's really hot day and you really need to cool off your house on those hot days. It bumps up automatically, I assume, to the higher stage. Uses a little bit more electricity, but then maybe once it hits the temperature that you're looking for in the house, it will turn down to the lower stage to save you a little bit on electricity. Is that correct?
Correct. And so every house is different. There's different ways to set it. We can set like the second stage to kick on a time. Say system's been running for a couple hours. We're not cooling the house. All right, let's kick on that second stage. Or we could go by the temperature. Hey, we need to drop this house 10 degrees. Let's kick on second stage, go full blast. Or even another scenario is if a house has one system, but in they have different zones. Uh, they don't need the whole system doing all the zones. Only one first floor is running. It's just going to do that first floor in the first stage. Now, if both zones, first and second floor, calling, all right, let's do the full capacity of the unit to second stage.
And tell me more about that variable speed model, and who's a good fit for that type of higher end, higher cost Bryant system, but maybe it's worth it to get that variable speed model.
Absolutely, especially with the AC, air conditioning, and even heat pumps. We're doing a lot of heat pumps in New England now. That's where the variable speed comes in because now these systems are getting sized to heat your house too. So let's go back to the 3 ton system. Uh, you like I said, now you have 10 to 20 stages. This thing can ramp down to a 1 ton of air conditioning coming out of it, and it, like I said, it runs longer. It dehumidifies the house. It it knows what it needs to do. Now, again, if it needs to, we're talking over 5 to 10 degrees in the house. It's going to ramp up to full capacity.
Right. So when it cools off the house, it might only need that 1 or 2 tons to maintain that temperature and just keep it right where it needs to be, and draw out the moisture from the air, be running most of the time, but your electricity bill is staying low because it's ramping it down and keeping it maintained. That's kind of the way that those variable systems work, right?
Exactly, and
Yeah.
also the temperature outside comes into effect too. Is it a cooler day, 78 degrees, where it doesn't need the full capacity? That's where it's running at that lowest speed.
So what should homeowners know about efficiency ratings like SEER2 when they're choosing a Bryant AC unit? And is the highest efficiency system always the right choice?
The I mean, again, it depends. What's your electric bill, Ben? That's what you want to look at. Do you want to have the same electric bill that you had, or do you want to try to cut that down? That's where it comes to going the higher efficiency. Um, and I mean, budget always comes into effect as well. With the lowest SEER, but anything with the higher SEER rating is going to be the most efficient at the end of the day.
And so you work with the clients, with your customers, as you're first meeting with them, and you're explaining the different types of Bryant air conditioning models, and you're showing them, single stage, 2 stage, variable stage systems. You're showing them the various efficiencies of the SEER ratings and the costs of all of those systems, and then you're helping the homeowner to determine what's the right system for them.
Absolutely, and also we do a lot of work. There's a lot of programs in Massachusetts with the electrical company, and we let the customers know about that. And they offer 0% financing, which is great. If only if you're installing those variable speed though. But they are also giving you rebates. There's a kickback for doing that as well.
And how important is the installation itself, compared to the brand of equipment? I know, obviously, like you said that Bryant, makes great systems and they have great support and warranties. How important is the installation of those systems, and how important is it that Prestige is knowledgeable about Bryant AC systems?
The installation of any system is the most important part. Absolutely, at the end of the day, the biggest thing comes down to leaks in the refrigeration system. We literally do 3 different types of leak testing during the installation because that's the worst thing that can happen to you. And I see it all the time. I go to new houses. Hey, we're looking for a new contractor. We only installed this system 3 years ago, and they come back every single year and keep putting refrigerant into it. That's one of the biggest things I see on a bad installation.
And obviously that gets expensive for the customer. They're having to constantly call the contractor back. refrigerant isn't cheap, so they're constantly having to refill it. So yeah, making sure that you're using a reliable contractor who really understands the systems and gets the training, like you said earlier, from Bryant, so that you know exactly what you need to do to install the systems and have them be working properly. That's really important.
Absolutely. And a proper startup, checking everything, making sure everything's working properly, everything's draining. Uh, there's there's all kinds of things you never know. But you want to check everything at the end of the day, make sure everything's working properly.
What are some of the features that Bryant AC systems have that tend to matter the most to homeowners after the system is installed?
One of the biggest compliments I get from homeowners is they're surprised by how quiet they are at the end of the day. Whether they had an old system or they were going from putting a window unit in. A lot of customers, I get it all the time, they're very surprised how quiet the systems are.
Right, and in the case of central AC systems, the compressor is outside of the house, right? So on the inside, especially if you have all your windows closed, like you would if you're running an AC system, inside the house, you really hardly hear anything, right?
Absolutely, and I've even heard that as well. And that's another sign of when it's time for an upgrade. If you're turning your TV up louder in the living room so you can't hear the air conditioning running outside, it's time to give us a call.
What about for homeowners who like, being outdoors, outside in their house? Maybe they have a patio or a pool or something like that. What do you do to try to keep the noise down outside the house? And are the Bryant systems really quiet for the people who are outside the house as well?
Absolutely. Going back to the same thing, I hear people telling me they couldn't even sit on their deck outside because the thing was so loud. We're having people over.
Right, and now they're able to, especially with the variable speed systems would be even most like that, right? Because once the temperature gets down to where you need it to be, it's ramping down the system, it's spinning less, it's making less noise outside in order to just maintain that air conditioning on the inside, right?
Absolutely. The variable speed compressors are the most quiet systems.
All right, well, that's really great information. Curt, thanks again for speaking with me today.
It was a pleasure, John.
And for more information, you can visit the Prestige Heating and Cooling website at prestigehc.net or call 978-600-8764. Have a prestigious day.